We are joined by Democratic State Party Chair Charlie Bailey. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's been very busy, a lot of action.
No, nothing's going on. I don't know what you're talking
nothing
about.
at all. A lot of action in the nation's capital with President Trump's budget bill. So we know that passed the Senate today. We'll be heading back to the House. What's your reaction to what you saw pass through the Senate today?
Well, I'm outraged on behalf of the people of Georgia. I mean, that these Republicans, to include, make no mistake, before it got to the Senate, it got through the House the first time, right? And you've got two folks in there, one, Buddy Carter, who's already running for Senate, another, Mike Collins, who's making moves as if he's going to. They, along with President Trump and these other Republicans, have decided to strip away health care from 750,000 Georgians and to further decimate rural health care. You know, Jennifer, we already have, before this bill passed, we got 30 rural hospitals in our state. 18 of them are at risk of closure before the bill passed. Report out of AJC last week says once this bill passed, 4 of those 18 are going to go to extreme risk of closure. Those are in places like Blue Ridge, Montezuma, Ocilla, and Sandersville. And there's over 1 million Georgians that have to drive 50 miles to get to a hospital. And you got all these Republicans, they put on their Express jeans and their boots and they go traipse around rural Georgia. They don't give a darn about the people of rural Georgia. When with the actions you're taking, say, I grew up in the church. And what I learned is words without deeds, well, they are dead. And so you can say all the words you want, but with the actions that you take, with your deeds, if you're stripping away health care and causing rural hospitals to close, which this will do, then what you are showing is that you actually don't care about those people.
What else do you see coming as a result of the passage of this legislation?
Well, taking away jobs from Georgians as well. You know, these green energy tax credits that have led to plants opening and plans to open plants, that's all gone if this becomes law. And, I thought, maybe I'm naive, I thought the job of representatives representing the people of Georgia is to help them be able to achieve the American dream, to help protect their health care, expand their opportunity to be able to get a good job with a good wage so they can build a life where they can have some sort of hope that the life they leave their kids is a little bit better than the ones that they had. And, and for what? I mean, that's the other thing, too. For what are they doing this? They going to add $4 trillion of debt on the backs of our kids, grandkids, nieces, and nephews. And to do what? To give a tax cut for Donald Trump and his family and Elon Musk and billionaires and big corporations and strip away people's health care? I mean, it's outrageous to me. And I think that the people of Georgia are going to show the Republicans that backed this, which, again, Mike Collins, Buddy Carter, and even John King, who's also running for Senate, said, he wants even more cuts than this. I think it's an abomination, and I think the people of Georgia are going to show that in November 2026.
We've seen, as you mentioned, this already passed the House. Now it's come to the Senate, and now it will be heading back to the House. I mean, is this a foregone conclusion here?
Well, it's never too late to do the right thing. And so these Republican congressmen and women, and one of them, Marjorie Taylor Greene, says she wants to maybe run for governor now, or whatever. I think she should, and she should defend this kind of vote. But they got a chance to vote a different way. They can say, you know what, I went to church, and I remembered Sunday school, and actually I'm not going to hurt people this way, and I'm not going to vote for this. It's within their power to do so. Will they stand up to Donald Trump and the billionaires and the big corporations? It's up to them. They've been given the power to do something about it, and we'll see who they choose. Do they choose the people of Georgia, or do they choose big funders and big corporations and billionaires?
You mentioned Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Something she said that she didn't like in this legislation that perhaps has been addressed at this point was artificial intelligence and tech. What is your concern, if any, regarding those types of actions that we're seeing on the federal level and its impact here in Georgia?
Well, I mean, aren't you in Congress? Read the bill. I mean, I didn't know it was in there. Well, you got one job. Read the bill, read the legislation. So it's not an acceptable excuse to say I didn't know. But what they have passed and what she is now saying she has an issue with, is it bans states' ability to regulate AI for 5 years. I think that's really dangerous. I mean, AI could be a wonderful tool, but taking away states' rights to protect their people, I think is a really dangerous thing, and it's just a giveaway. Just like everything in this bill, it's a giveaway to the very wealthy. It's a giveaway to these tech tycoons that think the rules don't apply to them. And these Republicans, again, for all they say of being for the people, when the rubber meets the road and they get the chance to do something, they side with these billionaires and these payoffs again and again and again.
What do you see the impact being here in Georgia as we get ready for a gubernatorial election, as current Senator Jon Ossoff prepares to defend his position in the Senate? What kind of impact do you see this piece of legislation having as we get closer to those votes?
Well, I think it crystallizes the difference, and particularly in the Senate race, between Senator Jon Ossoff, who fights every day for the people of Georgia to have good health care, and has said repeatedly we need to expand Medicaid in Georgia, something Republicans have refused to do when many Republican states have already done that. The contrast in that, someone that stands up for veterans and their benefits, and the Republicans that vote for this bill that strips away 750,000 Georgians' health care. I don't know if you can have a more clear distillation of who frankly cares at all about working people, and for who it's just a grand facade. And for these Republicans, it's just a facade. It's just it's a play acting. And for John, for Senator Ossoff, it's a part of the work that he does, which is why he's going to be reelected, because this contrast is going to be crystal clear through just this one bill.
What do you think might be on the table in terms of the Democratic Party here in Georgia if this legislation passes as is? What can the Democratic Party do to try and help constituents who feel like they have been left out, whether it's by health care, jobs, whatever that concern may be? What do you think Democrats can do to try to address that?
Well, I think the people of Georgia, to your point, have full cause to be angry about the situation they find themselves in, even before this bill, because of 22 years of Republican rule that has left us, as I said, with 18 of the 30 rural hospitals being in danger of closing. We've had 12 hospitals closed just in the last 12 years. Every measure that we use to look at our kids' educational attainment and opportunity, we're last, dead to last, third to last. And we have a tax code written by these Republicans under the Gold Dome that rewards billionaires, big corporations, and whoever the latest lobbyist was to buy them a steak and a bourbon. And so I think it's high time that the people of Georgia say, you know what? We actually don't like all that. We don't like that governance that doesn't reward work, that rewards just solely wealth. And if they elect Democrats, and we're going to make the case, both in state legislative races all the way to the U.S. Senate, that the priorities of the Democratic Party are the priorities of working people, of making that American dream more attainable, which the truth is, Jennifer, it's less attainable now in Georgia than it was 22 years ago when Republicans took power. So what we can do is make sure that argument is crystal clear for the people of Georgia. And if they elect Democrats up and down the ticket, state legislature, governor, lieutenant governor, and the U.S. Senate, they're going to finally have representatives that care about them, that care about keeping them safe, that care about improving their kids' schools, care about keeping their hospitals open and making sure they can access their Medicaid and their Medicare that they have worked for. These are not handouts. This is what hardworking people earn. And it's just, like I said, it's absolutely outrageous, but it is in keeping with the Republican leadership of the last 22 years to strip away these kind of protections from Georgia.
What would be your direct message to Georgians watching this unfold right now, and as we are in the lead up to various elections that are really going to have an impact for Georgians?
Well, it's going to be some of what I just said, but also like help is coming. You know, I mean, you get the chance. The power of a democracy is you get the vote, and they don't have to be in power. The people that have made these decisions to tell you and your family that you don't matter. If you live in Ocilla, you don't matter. And I'm from rural Georgia. I mean, the people that make those decisions, you can make a decision too. That's what I would say to them. And your decision can be, you know what? I don't need you in that seat. I need somebody in that seat that frankly gives a damn about me and my family. And that's the power that they have, and they need to utilize that power.
Anything else you want to mention today?
Just that, we're going to be working every day, and as long as I'm chair of the Democratic Party, we're going to be working every day to make sure the people of Georgia, the working people of the state, know who's on their side.
Charlie Bailey, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.